Okay. All right, I am live. Hello. I'm on Facebook and on Instagram. Yes. It takes so long to set this thing up on Facebook. It makes no sense to me. It should be a lot easier. It should be a lot easier than that. Hello, Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well. All right. So today is my birthday. Woohoo! Today is my birthday, and yesterday I was doing some deep reflection on how much has changed over the last year. The last year has probably been the most radical change of my whole entire life. And everything that I teach, it has become amplified thanks to everything I've been through and everything I really learned over the last year. A lot of that has to do with learning how to work with my own energy, the divine energy within me, the energy of the universe, the energy of my higher self. Your higher self is the version of you who knows you are worthy and capable, and your higher self is the version of you who is always dropping hints for what it is that you desire. Everything that you desire, right? The abundance, the freedom, the beauty in your life, everything comes from your higher self. And your higher self is not external. Your higher self is you. It's an energy that is within you. And when you realize and understand and learn how to embody this energy, how to work with this energy, that's when you get into alignment. That's when everything will begin to change. And when things change, it changes rapidly. When you're in alignment, things just start to flow. Everything becomes easy. Everything becomes easy. So today I'm going to talk about my last year, how I changed, what I did. And I'm also going to talk about how you can also embody the energy of your higher self, how to work with this crucial energy when it comes to manifestation. Okay, hello. Hi, Facebook. All right. I hope I did this right on Facebook. I don't know why it always confuses me. Instagram, not so much. Facebook always confuses me. All right. So, one big reason for why everything changed over the last year is because I did the work. I really dug in and did the work. Hi, Aubrey. I did the work. Now, I've been teaching manifestation for about 3 years. I took time off from my business because it wasn't working. I wasn't feeling flowing energy, right? I wasn't flowing through it. It was hard. I was pushing against it. And it's something, manifestation, spirituality, those are the topics that I love so very much. I could talk about them all day long. I do talk about them all day long. But what I was talking about in my business and the message that I was trying to get out, it wasn't working. It was hard. So the last year, really, because I took a year off before this past year, the last year is when I really dug in and I really did the work. I really started to cultivate a routine every single day. Prior to this, I would do the work, right? I would set my intentions and I kind of knew what I wanted, and I would work with candle magic here and there, or I would write my gratitude list once every month. I would script once every other month. I wasn't really doing it. I wasn't really in it, and I wasn't practicing what I preached. I would do it maybe for a week straight, let's say, and then I would take 3 months off. Or I would be really in it for a month and then I would take 5 months off. And I wasn't in a routine. I wasn't in a consistent habit of constantly bettering myself each day, constantly creating what I desire each day and moving towards what I desired each day. I wasn't doing it. I fell off. And this is why I always say consistency is key. And consistency does not mean you have to do something every single day either. Consistency could be 3 times a week. It could be once a week. On Sundays, you write your be, do, and have list, one every Sunday. but that's doing something, and you're staying consistent and you're staying in that energy. And sometimes it's very hard to cultivate the routine when we're at the beginning of it, right? It's like any habit that you form. It's not easy when we try to create the habits in the beginning, and that's why it's so important that we stick with it. You got to stick with it, because once you do this for even just a few days, I always say 72 hours, okay? Put that in your head. That's your belief. Believe that after 72 hours, your habit will become a routine. It will become a habit. Whatever it is that you desire, right? Your spiritual routine, your healing routine, your manifestation routine, a self-love routine, a morning routine. That is so important. Starting the day on a high vibration and an aligned state. Starting the day with the intention that it's going to be amazing, with the intention that everything you want is going to happen for you. Do you know how powerful that is when you start your day like that? Instead, you know what I was doing? I wake up, I reach for the phone immediately. I reached for the phone, and then I was becoming disappointed when I didn't see money coming into my business. Or I, wasn't getting the feedback that I really wanted on maybe an email I sent out, whatever it was. I started the day on such a low note. I started the day with an intention that everything was just going to fail, that it wasn't going to go properly, that it wasn't going to go amazing. Morning routine is so important. When you start your day with intention, and that word intention, do things intentionally. Manifestation is all about intention, but it's also about intentionally placing your focus, intentionally doing the things that light you up, intentionally doing something every single day that's going to move the needle closer to what you want. It's all about intention. And when you can truly step into a space where you have awareness and you're doing things with intention, that's going to move you closer and closer and closer. It becomes like a domino effect. Same thing with habits and routines. That is what I had to do. I had to cement myself into a habit, into a routine for manifestation, for healing. Healing was a huge part of the work I did over the last year. And it wasn't easy at first. Also, think about it like this. So for the first 3 days that, you're pushing yourself to really get into a routine that you want, well, after those 3 days are up, now you manifested a reality where that is your routine. You manifested it, right? It's like anything else when you're working in that energy, and it becomes greater and greater and greater, and then you just keep flowing through it. But you got to get through the first steps. I'm just checking in on Facebook. I always cut my head off. Oops. All right. And also, I was forcing myself into my business. I loved what I was teaching. I will always love this subject, but it wasn't working. It was hard to create content. It was hard to find my rhythm. It was hard to just be in it. I was all over the place because I wasn't fully in my purpose. This is why purpose is so important. And no, you don't need to know what your purpose is. This work will lead you to it. You don't need to know what it is. This work will lead you to it. Purpose is so important. And because of this work, your soul guides you to this work, because your soul is guiding you to your purpose. And your soul is guiding you to relearn everything your soul already knows. Your deep, honest truth is that of joy, of abundance, of freedom, of love. We are put on this planet to learn how to figure it out, to learn how to figure out how to actually enjoy our time here. And you already have that power within you. And over the last year, things changed so rapidly for me because I truly felt that power for the first time. I would feel it here and there. I would kind of know what it felt like, but now it's like I know how to turn it on. And it's because I was committed. It's because I did the work. And also, I want to say, when you're going through something very hard, when you're going through even the process of healing, right? I had to figure out how to love myself. I had just, all I knew was hatred for myself for my whole entire life. all I did was self-defeating behaviors, right? Like everything that would hurt me. In a way, I think that I started using substances because I wanted to hurt myself, because I hated myself. It was hard to learn how to break that. It's not always easy. And that's why I say you got to keep doing it, and you got to look at the stuff that you don't want to look at. You have to. So if you're in a spot right now where things are hard and it feels like you're not able to get to that next level that you want, you need to ask yourself, what are you being taught in the current reality? And I look back on my journey, even when my business wasn't working for 2 years, I look back on everything, and I look back on the last year specifically. And I realized that everything I went through, that created the framework for Manifesting Miracle Worker Academy, my signature program. That everything I went through, I was supposed to go through it because I was supposed to create this program. I was supposed to bring it to the world. And when I created the program, I channeled it. I felt so plugged in. You know when you are in your power because you're plugged in. You feel the energy. Things just attract to you. Everything is easy. And then it multiplies. And then it multiplies again. Aubrey, I'm so sorry you went through this, but also so grateful you're able to help so many people. I love you, Aubrey. I'm so grateful to know you. See, this is why social media is amazing, because look at, we connect. I think so often we think of social media as a negative, right? And there might be some negative parts to it. There are. We got to take breaks from time to time, but we also are able to connect in such beautiful ways. Thank you, Aubrey. So, all right, what exactly did I do to change so much? Well, I did the work, right? Like I said, I dove deep into my manifestation and spiritual practice. I stuck to a routine. I love you too, Aubrey. Thank you. And I learned how to activate the energy of my higher self. That's really important. Can talk about that today. Another big thing, forgiveness, self-forgiveness. I just wrote forgiveness lists over and over and over and over. I would write a list of everything that I needed to forgive myself for, and I released it. I would write another list, and I released it. And then I burned the lists. When I was in Sedona, we had a beautiful closing ceremony. I was there on a retreat with my sisters and my mentor, my teacher. And the closing ceremony was a Native American shaman. He was amazing. I can't even tell you the energy that he brought, and I can't really explain the experience, but he was channeling messages, right, from, I guess, the spirits and the higher spirits. And the message that he said to me was, they're telling you to forgive yourself. They're telling you to forgive yourself. And of course, I just started crying. It's just, and then I thought about it, and it was like, up to that point, I held so many things so deeply. Like, I held on to everything. Everything I did, it was, oh, you did that wrong. Oh, you can't do anything right. Oh, you did this wrong. Guilt from years of substance abuse, guilt from not being where I thought I should be. I was just holding on to so much. And we hold on to this stuff as energy, by the way. All of these negative things, emotions, feelings, the trauma that we experience, it's in our bodies. We need to be able to release it. And a really profound way of releasing it is through self-forgiveness work. So that was a big part of my journey, and I still do it all the time. Anytime you're feeling resistance, anytime you're feeling heavy energy, anytime you're feeling like you are, being hard on yourself, you are just belittling yourself all the time, you're not where you're supposed to be, you're not doing this right, you should be further by now, look at what you did, or you didn't even get enough done today, like whatever it may be. Anytime you're feeling that energy, it's coming up because it's telling you it's time to let it go. It's time to release it. It's time to look at it, honor it, say thank you for the lessons learned. Write it all down on a piece of paper. I forgive myself for this. I forgive myself for this. I forgive myself for this. Sit with it and really think about, what are the lessons that you learned through these things? Even holding on to that energy is teaching you something, because it's teaching you how to go further and get closer to your purpose and get closer to your truth. Our truth is through healing. Our truth is through shedding every single limiting layer that's clouding up our divine connection. Our truth is manifesting absolutely anything we want and loving our lives. That is our truth. And you get closer to that through healing. Every single thing you go through in life is teaching you something. That's why we need to honor these things. Okay? The higher self is such an important energy to work with. Okay, that's, the version of you that knows they're worthy of having it all, and your higher self is always guiding you. Always guiding you. She is not external, or he or they. They are within you. This energy is within you. This energy is you. Really powerful practice that I've done, especially over the last year. Now, I've worked with higher self energy for years, right? I've been doing this manifestation thing. I've been studying it for over 10 years. I know all the processes. I know all the tools. I have manifested things like magic out of nowhere. But I realized yesterday, during my contemplation hour, I realized it was really the first time this whole entire year that I truly felt plugged into that energy. And I really felt like I knew how to plug into it whenever I needed it. I knew what tools I needed to use. I'm just checking in on Facebook. Am I cut off? No. Okay. I cut myself off before checking. Hello, Facebook. All right. Higher self energy is so important. So important. So, okay, what is a really good way that you could start playing around with this energy? You got to get to know this energy. Get to know this energy by figuring out what your higher self looks like. Kind of like a human, right? Picture this energy as a human. What do they look like? What do they look like? Like, okay, mine might have like long hair. Mine does have like long flowing hair and a flowy dress, right? And like beautiful light radiating around her. Get a clear picture of what this energy looks like. This is why we focus so much on the Higher Self in Manifesting Miracle Worker Academy. You learn how to work with all of the energies, soul, source, the earth. But you also learn how to tap into the energy of your higher self, because that is how you manifest like magic. When you're in that focused energy, that confident energy, that I am worthy energy. A big factor here is learning how to be guided by this energy, right? We're being guided, we're being led, we're in alignment, instead of forcing things to happen. Being in that resistance mode. I always say coming up against the brick wall, because that's what it feels like. You're pushing, you're forcing, it's hard. Things are not supposed to be hard. Things are supposed to be easy. And also, that is a really good question I want you to ask yourself every time it does feel hard. Ask yourself, well, what if it got to be easy? What would this situation look like if it got to be easy? How would I feel if it got to be easy? What would my day look like if everything got to be easy? Ask yourself that. That is a powerful question. I ask myself that all the time. I learned how to ask myself these powerful questions. The questions that are going to push you further along. Ask your higher self what you need to do. This is how you start to learn how to become guided by this energy. Instead of pushing, instead of forcing, when you're feeling that resistance, take a breath, pause, ask higher self, what's my next step? What do I need to do next? What would you do? Ask your higher self your next steps so you can get clarity. You can get that clarity that you're looking for. So often we get so overwhelmed because we don't know what our next steps are. We might not even know what we want. For so long, I didn't have any idea what I actually wanted in life. I knew I wanted so much more than what I had. And I don't mean what I had, I always had a great family system. I always had great friends. What I had inside, though, was just self-hatred, addiction, depression, anxiety. Every moment I was so anxious, like always waiting for the other shoe to drop, always. I would wake up feeling like that, like, oh, something's going to go wrong, like that energy. And it wasn't easy. It took some time. But even in just the last year, because I really dug into the work, that's why so much radically shifted and changed in just a year. Because once it starts, you get that ball rolling and like it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So what Abraham Hicks calls the vortex. because you keep feeding the vortex with that energy. So the more and more you feed the vortex and the bigger it becomes, that's how you become more and more magnetic. You become, what's the word? I just forgot the word. I'll think of it in a minute. Oh, man. I'll think of it. It'll come to me. You become more magnetic. It just keeps happening more and more and more. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You got to begin to play around with this energy. Play around with the energy of your higher self, and also figure out what are the core feelings of your higher self. How does your higher self feel? That's how you activate that energy. It's through feeling. That's how you manifest. It's through feeling. Even the last year, I'm talking about how I really tapped into my divine power. That's because I feel it. I feel it. Right? It's when you feel like you're flowing and in alignment and everything is working and everything is good and sparkly and awesome. How does your higher self feel? So, for example, my higher self felt confident. She felt powerful, and she felt peacefulness. She was very peaceful, right? Because I was always so anxious. I was like all the time. Get on Instagram. Okay. I'm on both Instagram and Facebook. Hello, everybody. So anxious all the time. I was like a ball of nerves all the time. So my higher self, she was very peaceful. I had to start figuring out how to activate that energy on a daily basis with intention. How do I intentionally activate the feeling of confidence each day? Okay, well, I can wear an outfit that really makes me feel confident, right? That's a way that I could activate confidence. Well, I want to feel powerful. What is a way that I can feel powerful each day? For me, that's meditation. I feel so powerful when I'm connected in meditation. For you, it might be something different. How do I feel peacefulness each day? Meditation again. Or going outside and just feeling the wind, feeling the air, listening to the birds, right? Like that would activate peacefulness within me. You need to start figuring out how to activate these feelings. And a really good way to do that is picture your higher self. Who is your higher self? Okay, now how do they feel? Okay, now we know how they feel. Now, what can I do every single day to activate those feelings intentionally? Intentionally. Powerful stuff. And again, the more and more you do it, bigger it expands. Okay? Start activating these feelings on a daily basis. Also, this is really powerful, and I talk about this all the time as a manifestation method. What does the highest version of yourself wear, right? Like, what kind of outfit do they wear? So this might sound really silly, but playing dress up is an extremely powerful manifestation method. I talk about this all the time because it works. I talk about dressing up as your future self, right? Your most confident, empowered self. What does that future self version of you wear? Well, when we're talking about your higher self, same thing. What do they wear, right? So maybe my higher self, actually, my higher self would wear flowers, or does wear flowers in her hair. That's how I picture her. Okay, so even on our Divine Power Challenge, the Self-Love Challenge we did a few months ago, on the day that I was teaching about higher self, I wore my flower crown. I did that for a reason. I did that to activate and embody that energy. Playing dress up is a powerful way of embodying the energy. That's embodiment. That's how you become. And I'm not telling you to go out and buy something, buy a new outfit. Just really think about this stuff. Take your time, take the time out of your day to really think about this stuff. Commit yourself to this work. Commit yourself to you. You're the most important person, and the most important thing, the most important work you will ever do is transforming your life. That is literally, that's why we're here. You're here to learn how to truly enjoy your time here. Just checking in on Facebook. Okay. Commit yourself to doing this work. And we all have this power within us, okay? I'm not special because I did the work and I really dug into it over the last year. Things rapidly changed, and I'm telling you this for a reason. We all have this power within us. All of you. It's time to unleash it. Okay? Every single last one of you. That is why I do the work that I do. I love you guys. I have a hair appointment. That's why I'm wearing a hat, by the way. because I have so many gray hairs. Well, also I like my hat, but so I am gonna go to my hair appointment. I love you all. Let me know how you're doing with this work. I really want to know. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. If you're interested in learning more about Manifesting Miracle Worker Academy, send me a message on Facebook, on Instagram, and you could also sign up for a discovery call. I'm holding discovery calls, so you can find that in my bio. And I'm also offering 90-minute intensives right now. Students are already having massive breakthroughs with these 90-minute intensives. It was really cool the way that I... Thank you, Aubrey. I'm not even going to show you what the hat looks like. I love you. It was really cool with the intensive because it wasn't something I was really promoting. And then I dug into that energy. I'm like, look, this is such a powerful session. It's a 90-minute session. So powerful. And then you get Voxer support, which is also crazy powerful. And I was thinking about it, I'm visualizing it, and I just promoted it like one day on Instagram. And what happened? Just someone signed up, then another person signed up, then another person signed up. It's exponential. That's the word that I was looking for before. Exponential. Everything exponentially expands, right? So when you're manifesting money and more money comes to you, you're exponentially manifesting it. Things expand exponentially. Told you I would figure out the word. That's the word I was looking for. Yes. So, Unleash. It's called Unleash, the 90-minute intensive. It's very, very powerful. And yeah, really cool. Really good stuff. I love you guys. I never know you needed to color your hair. Aubrey, I love you. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty gray. I mean, I color it because I like the balayage. But it's pretty gray. Then when the grays come in, I use that spray and then it gets all over my face. So that's what happened recently. I got an appointment on my birthday. All right. I love you guys. I am here for you. I am here for you. Let me know if you're stuck. Let me know what you're going through. I really am curious to see what you do with the higher self work. And I'm going to be going live at least once a week. That's the other thing. At least once a week from now on. Okay. I love you all. All right. We're rising up. We are rising up. I'll see you soon. Bye. And on Facebook. All right. Da, da, da. Okay.